suffering from PCOD and I weighed 75 kgs. I had fatty liver, I had debris in my gallbladder, my SGPT levels had shot up. So that was a warning sign for me, and I realized I really need to do something about my weight. So I joined Healthify Me, and within some span of time, I brought down my weight from 75 kgs to 60 kgs. So not only did I lose weight, but I also healed a lot of my health issues. My PCOD is gone, my liver is healing, and my SGPT levels are absolutely normal.
Excommunicado. Going live in 10. Excommunicado. Going live in 10. Excommunicado. Going live in 10.
So this is the most requested smartphone in a while.
This phone was nothing but a rumor.
It's actually kind of insane.
None of them have impressed me as much as this guy.
Gosh, this is just a beautifully designed phone.
Really crazy pattern on it.
Guys, this is a gorgeous display. As you can tell, the colors, they just pop.
Not to mention, that pop-up camera, that is a massive power move.
Xiaomi, you've done it again.
I'm starting to feel like this might be the value champion. I'm starting to feel like this is going to be tough to beat.
Hi guys, welcome to yet another exciting product launch by Xiaomi. Today, we're going to finally unveil what's there in this mystery box. And I'm personally super excited because this is a product which has been designed for India. So yes, this means that this product category does not exist in the Xiaomi ecosystem in any other part of the world. So are you guys excited? Oh wow, it's the all-new Mi Beard Trimmer. I don't think I'm the right person to talk about this, but I think I know just the right people. Perfect. Let's do this.
My beard is my prized possession. And the best beard deserves the best grooming. And that's why the Mi Beard Trimmer is just perfect. It comes with ultra-precise self-sharpening stainless steel blades. That's right, self-sharpening. Now that's smart. Also, its 20 settings dial with 2 different combs gives you 40 length settings and 1 fantastic beard. Or any number of fantastic beards.
Hey. I'm a busy guy. The meetings, the dates, chilling with the bros, I make time for it all. All thanks to the Mi Beard Trimmer. बस 5 मिनट की चार्जिंग और सुबह की ट्रिमिंग sorted. और अगर बैटरी full है, तो it lasts even longer than a week. But if you're not into math, just plug in the USB charger for unlimited use. And if you're traveling, just put it into travel mode to save battery.
You think that's impressive? Breaking a coconut with your bare hands, that's impressive. Bending an iron rod with your teeth, that's impressive. Dipping the Mi Beard Trimmer in a bowl of Amazon rainwater, then cleaning it under a running tap and still being able to use it as smoothly as ever. Now that's really impressive.
Looking good, brother. Hello there. Looking this good isn't easy, but the Mi Beard Trimmer makes it easy. With its premium quad-edge design, exceptional hand feel, and solid grip. ये आपके हाथों से कभी नहीं गिरेगा. And it is bound to make you look amazing. About as amazing as it looks itself. Or at least as amazing as these guys.
That was great. Thank you so much, guys. So that's the all-new Mi beard trimmer for you guys. It comes with 40 lens settings, ultra-precise self-sharpening blades. It has an amazingly long battery life, IPX7 waterproof body, and a quad edge design which gives it a very premium feel. And all these features are being launched at an honest price of rupees 1,199 only. So what are you waiting for? Go and grab your Mi beard trimmer right now. See you soon.
Xiaomi.
Excommunicado. Going live in 5. Excommunicado. Going live in 5. Excommunicado. Going live in 5.
So this is the most requested smartphone in a while.
This phone was nothing but a rumor.
It's actually kind of insane.
None of them have impressed me as much as this guy.
Gosh, this is just a beautifully designed phone.
Really crazy pattern on it.
Guys, this is a gorgeous display. As you can tell, the colors, they just pop.
Not to mention, that pop-up camera, that is a massive power move.
Xiaomi, you've done it again.
I'm starting to feel like this might be the value champion. I'm starting to feel like this is going to be tough to beat.
Good afternoon to everybody. Can you guys hear me? Okay. A big warm welcome. We have around 855 people in this room. We have around 480 Mi fans. Mi fans, give me a cheer. No, give me a flagship cheer. We have our media colleagues, we have all our partners. In fact, a lot of our partners have flown from different parts of the country. Some have come from a few other countries. So thank you so much, everybody, for taking out time. And a big warm welcome to everybody who's watching us live. So before we start, these are the hashtags that we are using today. Redmi K20, K20 Pro, flagship killer, and believe the hype. So if you guys are posting anything on social media, you're tweeting, putting on Facebook, Instagram, do use these hashtags. And what I can do on your behalf, I can request to Anuj sir that we should give out the fastest phone in the world, one of that, to maybe by the end of the day, right? So please do use these hashtags. Now, let's start with our presentation. So this is a great month for us. Not only we are launching the fastest phone in the world, but this also marks our 5th year anniversary. So yes, Xiaomi India just turned 5-year-old day before yesterday. Thank you. This was our first launch event, our then flagship Mi 3. And you can see our co-founder and president of the company, Ben, Hugo, Sachin, who was the CEO of Flipkart, all of us at the Mi 3 launch event. We also introduced many other devices like Redmi 1S, Redmi Note, and many of our media colleagues were there. We had Deepak, I saw Deepak today. We had Anuj Bhatia, we have Abhishek Bhatnagar, and many other media colleagues. And I really want to thank all of you guys because you have been part of this journey. You have helped us, you have guided us over the last 5 years. And this was the first office. Literally a small, tiny little office where only 6 people could sit. This was in Bangalore. And for the longest period of time, our entire business plan was that we'll only have 10 people in India. So we said, okay, let's start with a small 6-seater office. And today we have more than 1,000 people. We have also become the #1 smartphone brand, #1 smart TV brand, #1 fitness brand, and #1 power bank brand. So thank you so much, everybody. On smartphones, we have been the largest brand for 7 consecutive quarters. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the 8th quarter. The results for 8th quarter are still not out. We have some of our IDC colleagues. I'll request them, maybe they can release a report very soon, right? So hopefully, if everything goes right, for 8 consecutive quarters, which is 2 consecutive years. And today we have about 30% market share, which means if there are 3 people who buy a smartphone in India, 1 out of 3 are Xiaomi customers. Thank you. We are the #1 brand in online segment with about 50% market share. And of course, we sell through multiple platforms. But what is most interesting is our own e-commerce platform, Mi.com, has become the 3rd largest e-commerce platform when it comes to electronics or smartphone sales. Flipkart, Amazon, and then Mi.com. And Mi.com is probably the largest single brand retail platform in the country. We have been launching many more devices. For example, last year we introduced TVs, and we have become the largest smart TV brand. We have around 40% market share, 39 to be precise. And what is most interesting is if you combine the market share of #2, #3, and #4 brands, which is Samsung, Sony, and LG, all of them combined are at 40%, and Xiaomi itself is at 40%. Every time we do a launch event, we talk about our specs, about our price, but one of the things that truly defines who we are is our focus on quality. This is something that we really value. We have a separate team, department, only working on quality improvement. And I'm happy to share, as per the latest report from Red Quanta, which just got released yesterday, we are now the #1 quality brand amongst the top 5 brands. So Red Quanta measures something called as FFR, field failure rate, which shows that if you sell 100 devices, how many of them come back with any kind of defect, with the hardware or software. And the company which has the lowest defect rate or lowest FFR has the highest quality. So we have the highest quality. We are 20% higher than the second brand, which is Samsung, about 60 or 80% higher than #3, #4 brands, which are Oppo and Vivo, and about 133% higher than all other brands. That was not intentional. In case, even if you face any problem, we still have the largest service network. We are the #1 after-sales service brand. We have more than 1,000 service centers for our phones and about 500 service centers for our TV. and we can repair 98% of the complaints within 4 hours. Now, all of this we have achieved. A big thanks to all our Mi fans. I see so many of you sitting over here. And for this, thank you. So on this 5th anniversary, we decided to do something special for all our Mi fans. So we picked up 20 Mi fans, and we decided to give them 1 star each. So, yes, there are 20 real stars in this universe, which are named after 20 Mi fans. In fact, we have a wall in our office where we have names of many of the Mi fans who have been part of this journey, who have loved Xiaomi. And you can see that many of these Mi fans have already joined Xiaomi. So they're part of our team. The first person to join was Rohit Galsasi bro. I hope Rohit is here today. Then we have Sameer, we have Nisar, and many other team members. They're part of our quality team, our testing team, our product team, our marketing teams, and they're really helping us succeed in India. Every time we launch a product, we go to our Mi fans and ask them how we can improve these products. And we started the first Explorer program almost 3 years ago. Do you remember which device was this? Yes, Redmi Note 3. And then we repeated this program with Redmi Note 4 and then few other devices. And then we brought back this program for Redmi K20 and K20 Pro. So this time, we selected 48 Mi Explorers, and they've been using this device for more than a month. They've been giving us feedback on how we can make this the perfect flagship device ever. And a lot of you guys have given very good feedback. For example, Anil says, this is the most fluid and snappy experience that I've ever experienced. Mohammed says, the lenses allow you to capture photos, with different perspective. The details of the photographs are really mind-blowing. And then we have Asta who talks about the back of the phone and says it gives a very different shine, and there's no way that it would not grab your attention. So again, thanks to all our Mi Explorers who have given us feedback and who have made these phones even better. So today, we are introducing the Redmi K series, K20 and K20 Pro. And a lot of you guys have asked this question, what does K stand for? So let me show you a quick video on what does K mean.
What does it take to be ahead of the curve? To be ahead of your time and change the times we live in. To go where no one else has gone before. Don't let anything hold you back and break through to the next level. Take a good look at your limits and fly by them without a second glance. Only then can you rise to the top, a winner. So are you just another follower? Or do you believe in being the alpha? The K-Series by Xiaomi, ahead of the curve.
So what does K mean? K can actually mean a lot of things. It can mean king of smartphones. It can also mean flagship killer. But for me, K really means that this is a very neutral yet powerful alphabet, which shows that this is a device for everybody who want to outperform. People who are futuristic, people who want to stay ahead of curve. And we're launching 2 phones in this series, which is Redmi K20 and K20 Pro. So let's start with the world's fastest phone, which is Redmi K20 Pro. And to talk more about this, I'll call on stage somebody who's more handsome than me, Sir Anuj Sharma.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Manu. Wow, 5 years. Right. 5 incredible years. And of course, as Manu spoke about, a lot has changed. And today, obviously, is a very special day for us, and it is a special month. And I personally also want to thank our extended Xiaomi family, all our fans, right? Extremely important to everything that we do. And over the presentation itself, you will see all those elements coming in. Our partners that are also here today, you've made a big difference to Xiaomi's story in India. And of course, all our media colleagues who help tell this story to the larger people. I am Anuj, and I lead marketing at Xiaomi India. And of course, today I'm here to talk about a very special product. Now, since we started 5 years ago with the Redmi series in India, this has been in the works. We have been slowly inching up all the way to this day, making this a very special product. In fact, it's so special that we've decided to call it the Alpha flagship. Right? It's more than a flagship, and it is built on 4 key principles. 4 key principles that we believe all our Mi fans find really important. One is performance, right? There has to be absolutely no compromise when you're putting a flagship together. The second part, and this is frankly taking a lot of feedback from consumers, something new for Xiaomi, which is excellent design. And finally, we have a design that actually takes that word flagship to the next level. Third is cameras. Cameras are becoming really important, imaging, and we will talk about it. And the fourth part, which I think is something which is really important, and that is what is giving this Alpha tag, is giving a flagship with absolutely no compromises. I will talk about those compromises as well, but first, let's start with the flagship performance part of it. Now, with flagship performance, we were looking at the fastest chip available for mobile computing today. And of course, no guesses there. Our friends over at Qualcomm have done an absolutely phenomenal job with this particular chip. So the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855. Thank you. The most powerful chip available for smartphones today in the world. And this is an incredible technology marvel. It's built on a 7-nanometer technology process, and it's also the biggest leap that Qualcomm has ever taken in terms of performance on a generation perspective. Since starting Snapdragon 800 series back in 2013, they have been making increments, but nothing is as high a jump as the 855 versus 845, a massive 45% jump. Now, a 45% jump might not really seem too much when you look at the lower segments, but to push the absolute high technology, the flagship part, up by 45 is really hard. I'll give you an example. If man can run 100 meters in about 9.58 seconds, right? That's the record currently. If you have to beat that by 45%, you would have to have somebody run 100 meters in less than 6 seconds. That is so much of a gap that you bring when you're pushing the limits to the next level. And with 855, it's a marvelous job that Qualcomm has done getting you this chip. How does it do it? It's an all-new architecture that they've implemented. It's a tri-cluster architecture for the very first time on the 800 series. What you have is 4 Cryo 485 silver cores. Now, these silver cores are powerful enough to handle all your daily requirements, whether it's watching videos, emails, chats, so what you have. However, going beyond that, you also have the Cryo gold cores. And these gold cores handle the heavy lifting part of it, when you put games out there, right? And those are clocked at 2.42 gigahertz. And then there's one very special core. It's called the Prime core. And this Prime core is clocked even higher at 2.84 gigahertz. And not just the clock frequency, it also has more cache in it. Now, why do you need this, right? Why do you need this change in architecture? A lot of our apps are still single-threaded. That means they don't really use all the cores properly, and those single-threaded apps, the Prime core handles with really great speed, gets them done, gets them out of the way so that you keep moving forward. Your phone will not see a stutter, will not slow down. And that makes it really important, giving you that massive 45% jump in the overall performance. The next part, obviously, for a flagship performance, which is absolutely important for all of us, right, is gaming. And with gaming, again, with the Snapdragon 855, you get Adreno 640 graphics processing unit, and what Qualcomm is terming this as elite gaming. Now, Elite Gaming gets Vulkan API 1.1. For those people who play games on PCs, you would have heard the words DirectX, OpenGL. Vulkan is like that. However, it has a few advantages. It is cross-platform. That means, yes, it extends to phones. And the second part is it also is a lot more power efficient and handles the GPU and CPU balance a lot better. That means between the CPU and the graphics unit, it balances the entire load so that there's no bottlenecks anywhere. Along with this, this GPU is also very special to us because it's got cinematic post-processing. And why this is important, I'll talk to you about this in the later stages. It's got better depth of field when you're gaming. The 3D graphics have a better depth of field. It's got high dynamic range, or HDR. Makes those screens pop. Again, very important for the K20 Pro. And of course, better physics. Now, both CPU and GPU have seen a jump of 45% and 20% each. And these are obviously major numbers, big numbers for any flagship chip. And this, along with the 7 nanometer chipset, means that it's also more power efficient. The CPU is 20% more power efficient than 845 and 30% more power efficient in the GPU side compared to the previous generation. So incredible numbers. What does it all mean? You obviously get incredible performance. If you had to compare performance, so if you look at last year's numbers, so you had the iPhone 10 running the A11, and that was at about 245 in terms of Antutu score. And then, of course, you had the 845, which itself was a great chip. And that you saw with our friends at Poco, the Poco F1, and that obviously beat the iPhone with a healthy margin. So you had 291. Then the new iPhones have a 812 Bionic. It's improved, right? And that clocks at about 356. Any guesses where the K20 is? Go on. It is at 388, making it one of the fastest phones available today. Now, what do you do with all this performance, right? For most of our Mi fans, the very first answer that comes is better gaming. And our thought was, how do we make this gaming even better? So with this, we are introducing the second generation Game Turbo. And this makes a lot of difference. It enhances the overall gameplay by doing a couple of things that we all expect. So you get better performance, it's optimized, you have better network optimization as well so that your pings are lower. However, we've gone one step ahead. We've done something that nobody else has. We've improved the overall touch response. Right? So touch latency can be adjusted as per your requirements. Again, very important. For example, if you're playing, say, a battle royale game, right? How quickly does that touch respond to your fire button so that you are able to kill the other enemy on the other side of the world? Makes a lot of difference in your overall gameplay. The second one, which again is very new, is the overall visual enhancements. So you can see more with the second generation Game Turbo on the K20 Pro. And I'll talk about both of these in a bit. And the last part, which probably we don't really take into consideration very often, but it is becoming more and more important in gaming, is sound. So you've got sound quality optimization. Now suppose you are playing a multiplayer game, you can actually hear the footsteps accurately coming from different directions. And in-game call optimization, so when you are playing a multiplayer game and you're talking to your friends, it also helps with background noise reduction. I mean, we all have been in a particular game where this one guy left his mic on and kept chattering, right? Or there's some music happening, or his mother's calling at the back. Hopefully all of this kind of gets sorted with this. So I actually want to talk about two of these things. One is the touch enhancement and the enhanced visuals. From an enhanced visuals perspective, you actually get massive advantage. With Enhanced Visuals 2.0, you actually get night vision in games which are really dark. So for example, if you are playing, let's say PUBG Mobile, and you've got a day and night match happening. At night, you need to look around for those night vision goggles. How many people play a battle royale game here? Okay. The people in the middle are slightly boring. All these guys are happening. So it becomes really important because when you are playing at night, and if suppose you don't have those night vision glasses, which you have to find in-game, with the K20 Pro, you'll still be able to see what's happening in the dark. So it's almost giving a massive advantage to people versus, I think this is the next best thing versus hacking. So don't hack, that's not good for anyone. But this one is giving you a hardware advantage. So if you look at it, night vision on versus a typical smartphone and how the renders change. Now, when you are comparing this and when you are playing a competitive game, the next part that is most important is touch. And we wanted to make the touch the absolute fastest that you can get on a smartphone. So here, you can actually change your touch response from a sampling rate of 120 hertz all the way to 180 hertz, a 50% jump. So depending on how good you are in the game, how quickly you want your in-game character to react, this makes a whole lot of difference coming in with just the touch response. This again is something that pretty much nobody else has. So the K20 Pro again gives you an advantage when gaming with us. And not just the touch part of it, the other part is, for example, if you've got a gun, which is not an automatic, and you've got burst mode. So what do? You do repeated taps, right? So you tap once, twice, thrice, as quickly as possible so that you get your bullets out. For that also, we've improved the overall touch response or sensitivity. So when you tap very quickly 3 times, it'll detect all 3 times. It'll not merge it into only 2 taps or 1. And this also starts making a difference in terms of gameplay. And this obviously, all of this is absolutely important because you've got all that power, you will be gaming, and all of this adds to that gaming experience, giving you a gaming experience like none other out there. So you've got a really powerful chipset and optimizations, and we will have an alpha configuration of up to 8 GB of DDR4X, clocked at 2133 megahertz, as well as a storage variant going all the way to 256 GB, which is via UFS 2.1. Now, this is a lot of power under the hood. Now, to cool that off and to ensure that you don't face any lags, even if you're playing for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, we have added an all-new 8-layer graphite cooling system. It is largely so that heat is drawn away from your system really quickly, and you can stay at the peak performance without any throttling for a longer time. How is it different? A typical smartphone will just have one particular layer. On the K20 Pro, it is actually on both sides, right? So right on the top and the bottom, you've got the graphite cooling solution coming in. However, on the main side, this actually is an 8-layer graphite cooling system, which means faster heat dissipation. How fast? When we look at an equivalent smartphone, now the iPhone X has a 40 micron meter single layer graphite, and the K20 Pro again has a 40 micron meter but 8 layer. The difference between the heat dissipation of these two devices is 650%. Makes a huge difference when you are using this cooling solution. So overall, from a performance perspective, no holds barred. You've got a flagship gaming experience. You've got Snapdragon 855 that comes with the all-new Cryo 485 architecture. You've got the Adreno 640 GPU with all the enhancements that you saw. Of course, we've added to it by putting a second-generation game turbo, and you saw all those visual enhancements as well as touch enhancements. You have up to 8 GB of LPDDR4X RAM and a cooling system to match all of it. It's an 8-layer graphite cooling system. Now that's philosophy number 1 to get the flagship right. I'll move on to the next one. And this is something that we call Aura Design. Now Aura Design is something that is we had introduced very recently, about 5 months back, it's a change in the overall philosophy. Redmi series, for the last 4.5 years or so, has obviously been known for incredible functional design. On top of that, we've added 2 more parameters for designing all the phones this year. You have an immersive experience. How immersive is that phone? And of course, a big focus on craftsmanship. The materials that we use and the way it looks, all of that matters. And culminating into all of this is something that we call Aura Prime. This is the peak design that we've managed to achieve on the Redmi series. And let me introduce the very first variant or the very first color to you here. Now this is the Glacier Blue. It does not look like any other phone out there in the market. It's absolutely stunning looking, but not just that, it's also built really well. The entire frame is built out of industrial grade aluminum. And if you can see the glass beautifully merging into that frame, it just looks like one whole unibody device. The glass that I'm talking about is a 3D curved glass, and even at the back is protected by Corning's Gorilla Glass 5. And this glass is curved. It's a 3D curved glass, but the curvature changes ever so slightly when you get to the bottom. Again, to match that frame and, of course, give you that great hand feel. While we've used premium materials, what we did was another engineering marvel. If you look at, again, equivalent phones that have used materials like this, say the OnePlus 7 Pro or the XS Max, what they've not been able to do is manage the weight. It becomes unwieldy to hold after some time. For example, the OnePlus 7 Pro is at 206 grams, while the XS Max is 208 grams. Now, without compromising on the build quality, without compromising on the materials, we managed to get the K20 Pro at just 191 grams. This makes it the lightest true full-screen flagship in the market today. And not just that, obviously it's built well and looks stunning. We made these subtle design changes. For example, around the camera, you've got this holographic ring accent. Looks absolutely brilliant. Or the iconic red button. And this red button is actually going through all our variants. It looks absolutely stunning, and especially on the blue one, the red and blue or the red and black looks absolutely phenomenal. Along with that, we made some more changes. For example, LED notification light. Yes, we are a flagship and we still have a LED notification light, and it comes in like no other. So you've got a very unique LED notification light up top. So talking about the build quality, aluminum industrial grade frame, you've got a curved Corning Gorilla Glass 5 at the back with slightly different curvature. It's a 3D overall, and you've got accents like the holographic ring or the power button. And all of this has been designed along with the weight that I spoke about to give you that ergonomic fit. Over time, our designers have been thoughtfully working towards getting you that perfect hand feel, and that's what you get with the K20 Pro. Now that's about ergonomics. Let me get into the next color. Now that is the flame red. You guys like it? Blue or red? Okay. All I heard was bread. All right. For you guys who must be wondering, how is this happening? How is this dynamic pattern working? Let me show you this one. Now, this is, again, very thoughtfully designed. And this happens with 6 different layers coming in and how the light plays off it.